Welcome to Charged Up, your official podcast of your Colby-Sawyer Chargers. My name is Destiny Cruz, and I'll be throwing it over to Anna after a few quick updates. The Chargers basketball teams competed in the Ed Hockenberry tournament this weekend in Norwich University, with the women going over 0-2, while the men split their 2 games. Junior Emily Parent lit up the score sheet, netting career highs in scoring on both days of the tournament, scoring 18 points on Friday and following it up with 21-point performance on Saturday. On the men's side, Kevin Cummings continues to flourish in his first year in New London, scoring 16 points in a loss to Norwich before getting 21 points and leading the Chargers to victory against UMaine Fort Kent. Junior Scott Lampron also had his best game as a Charger on Sunday, scoring 16 points and having 4 steals. Cummings was later named to the Ed Hockenberry All-Tournament team following the last game in Northfield, Vermont. The swimming and diving teams finished 4th out of 8 teams on Saturday, while also hitting 6 new personal records. Senior Kelsey Brown shined for Colby-Sawyer, winning 3 individual competitions, while junior Mary Stewart also won both of her events. For our next story, we're going to send it down to Anna Allen, who caught up with the head men's and women's volleyball coach, Cailyn Straubel, who chatted about the women's volleyball season while previewing the men's upcoming season.
And welcome back to Charged Up. My name is Anna, and I'm here with head men and women's volleyball coach, Cailyn Straubel.
Hi.
Yeah. So first off, congratulations to a successful end to the women's season. How was that?
It was great. The women's season really flew by, as you know.
Definitely.
And I think that the growth that we saw this season is what made it so successful. Coming in from preseason and really breaking down technique and then doing so much work on our culture and seeing that all kind of come to life in those last 2 matches that we played was, all I could have asked for in this first season.
Yeah. So you mentioned growth. How was that from the start to the season towards the end?
Yeah, so I think we had, a big team and a lot of work coming off of a COVID season to work on our culture and to knock some of the rust off on the court, and then just to get to know each other. 10 incoming freshmen, it's a big group, and over half the team had never seen a college match with the COVID year. So, there were a lot of opportunities to grow, and I think that we really capitalized on them. I was super proud of how we overcame obstacles and all the work that we put in on the court, but also, off the court as well, and in establishing a solid culture and what we want the program to look like moving forward.
Definitely. I know the team was more than ready to get back on the court after COVID and everything. Did you have a favorite match? I mean, I wouldn't mind, but
I think I have favorite moments. I don't really have a favorite match. I think the energy that we felt playing on our home court against some really strong teams, Plymouth State and those sorts of matches where we saw things come together regardless of what sort of happened on the scoreboard. Those are the moments that I'm holding on to, and then seeing everybody really playing together in those last two matches. It gives me a lot of hope and excitement for the future of the program.
Yeah, definitely. So I will sadly not be participating spring season just because I'm a senior. What does the spring season look like for the women?
Yeah, so we're going to do a lot more technical development. We have 15 practices to work with, and we'll do about 3 practices a week for 5 weeks and really break skill down in 2 of those 3 practices. Get a lot of small group and individual work, and then do some off the court work on our culture as well, and leadership and things like that. So, there's lots of things that I'm excited for us to be able to spend some time on and really break down and grow, and all of that will sort of culminate in a spring play date. Opponent is TBD, but we're looking forward to having some time in the spring to really work on the things that we want to focus on.
Definitely. Yeah. So you also mentioned culture. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So, culture is such a huge thing in what I want the program to look like, and I think what the team wants the program to look like. We talked a lot about it this season, and making sure that our culture feels like a family, and knowing that with that comes a lot of responsibility, and that you don't always have to like each other, but we always love each other and we support one another, towards a common goal. So really getting everyone on the same page, and thinking about, as we bring new people into the program, making sure that they're on the same page as well, and we have an environment that's supportive and conducive to making lifelong friends, and really truly being a family in every sense of the word.
Definitely. So the women's season is done for now. Next up is men's. Is it your first time ever coaching men's?
I've coached club men's in the past, but in terms of it being a varsity NCAA sport, yes.
Yeah. So excited, nervous?
Anything? I'm excited. I think anxious in the sense that I'm really ready for it to happen, and also that I just love being on the court with the athletes. So this break in between the two is both a gift and a curse, in that I'm just so ready to get out there again. And I'm trying to take time to enjoy the moment right now, and really get prepared in a way that I didn't have for your season, right? With the whirlwind that was. But really I'm looking forward to coming back in January and hitting the ground running.
Definitely. So how was the start to their preseason, the first couple practices?
Yeah, so we had our non-traditional season, and we broke skill down. I'm such a technical coach, and we talk a lot about discipline. That's, a word you've probably heard a billion times in the past, 4 months. But, really breaking skill down while we have the time to do so, and getting us working together as a unit. We did a lot of work on some different systems, and putting people in places that maybe they were a little bit less comfortable with, but having that time to do that now is just going to set us up nicely for when we come back in January and get going. So we were able to do all that in our practices, and then wrap that up with a scrimmage at ENC, where we found a lot of success, and I think it got everybody really, really pumped up for season.
Yeah. It sounds like you have a really solid group of incoming freshmen.
Yeah.
Really solid returners. So should be a fun season.
Have a whole team of guys who really love playing volleyball, which is all you can ask for.
Right. So you currently have 10 on the roster. How is that group looking?
They look great. I mean, we have sort of a range of abilities and knowledge of the game, which makes things really exciting. And our practices have been really effective, which is awesome. And I know the guys are excited to be back on the court in the same way you guys were, and especially with the program being so young and us still building, we have an opportunity, to make some history here and really establish what we want men's volleyball to look like at Colby-Sawyer. And I think this group of 10 is ready and going to be a good group to help us establish that.
Yeah. Any key players, leaders?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a group of 3 leaders, returners who, in Eric, AJ, and Orlando, who have the experience, have been part of the program since the inaugural season, who are really taking everybody under their wings and helping get everybody on the same page. So I think they're going to be huge, and the history and the success of the program moving forward is going to rely largely on what those 3 are able to do in terms of their leadership. And it's been great working with them so far, and I'm excited to actually be in season with them.
Yeah. I think we're all excited. I know women's, men's, everyone was very excited to get back on the court after the long break. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we're all excited. Their first home game is January 13th against SUNY Potsdam. First game 5 p.m. Next is TBD.
My name is Cailyn, and this is Charged Up.
I gotta take notes.
I'm watching too much morning show. Okay. Anna, you have been an impact player for this program for, I guess, 4 years, technically 3, right? How does it feel to graduate knowing that you're leaving a huge impact on the program?
It's sad, but I'm really, really happy with the way, this past season ended with my first 2 seasons, even the crazy COVID season. I think I'm leaving a great group of girls. I know all 20 of us just felt super connected, just everyone felt the growth that we were working towards all season, like you said, in those last 2 matches at Emmanuel. 2 big wins, every last set, every last pass, kill, serve, everything just meant the world to me and my other seniors. And even the 10 freshmen, I think all 3 of us played really strong roles in developing a good program that we're leaving, sadly. But as sad as it is, I'm very happy with the way it ended.
Yeah. Some big shoes to fill for sure.
Thank you.
What would you say your best memory of your time at Colby-Sawyer has been?
There's been a lot, just from the early away games where everyone's sleeping and then just wakes up and has that rowdiness energy, to the, rides away from games that we win, and it's just everyone's super excited. But I think one of my first memories and one of my favorite is probably when I visited my senior year. I think there's only about 6 or 7 girls on the team I got to meet, including Becca, your sister. Yeah. But from the second I went to the unofficial practice, it like you said, it felt like that family oriented, group that I already felt accepted. I didn't even accept the offer yet, and they made me feel like I was a part of the team, and being on the team eventually, from, movie nights to going to the beach, everything, it's just always felt like a family, great group of girls. I got to get a couple of new friends every year, 10 this year, 10 new friends. But yeah, tons of good memories. I really did like taking a set from Jwoo as well in my 4 years, I will say.
I mean, that's one of my fondest memories for sure.
A lot of fun. I wish you best of luck with the men's season and women's spring season. And back to you.
Thanks, Anna. This week, our women's basketball team will be taking on the Castleton Spartans at 7 p.m. at home. As well, this week, the men's basketball team will battle it out against the New England College Pilgrims this week on Thursday at home. Let's go Chargers. There will also be an ugly sweater competition at both basketball games this week. With the best sweaters will be selected to participate in a halftime contest. We will do a holiday musical chairs, with the winner receiving a Chargers vinyl study basket that includes an Amazon gift card.